everybody. Thank you for everybody who answered the poll. I think we're still waiting on one person to answer. Our poll question today is, if you became famous, what would you want to be known for? And so we have several options. You can be known for being an actor or an actress, a chef, be a singer in a band, being an athlete. Some person said competing in the Olympics, which I think is perfect because the Tokyo Olympics are happening right now. You could also be known for being an artist, writing a book, inventing something, or being an astronaut. And I feel like all of these are really cool. Let us know in the poll. We're still waiting on one person to answer. So if you want to answer, please let us know what you would want to be famous for. Today in this program, we're going to be talking all about legacies and famous people from Arcadia. There's a lot of really famous people from here. There's a lot of famous people in this area also. Terry Crews, who lives in Pasadena, I believe he got his star on the Walk of Fame, I want to say this weekend, I believe so. So lots of really amazing people coming out of this area. And for those of you who just joined us, please make sure that you're answering our poll question. It's a really fun one. It's officially 10:01, so I'll end it in maybe a minute. I just want to give everybody the opportunity. Oh, okay, so now 100% of our attendees have answered. So let me share the results. It looks like the ones that everybody chose were to be an actor or an actress. Very good. If you want to tell me your favorite actor and actress, you can put that in the chat. Some people said that they wanted to compete in the Olympics. Tell me what sport you would like to compete in, because we actually have some Olympiads here from Arcadia. For example, Mirai Nagasu, she won gold in figure skating. And then some people also said that they would want to be an astronaut. We also have some astronauts who are from Arcadia, and we're gonna learn a little bit about them today. So thank you everybody for participating in the poll. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Miss Brittany. I'm the Museum Education Coordinator here at the Guild Museum. I am joined today by Kimberly, who is our Museum Education Intern, and there's Kimberly's hand. I'm really excited to have you all today. This program is called Arcadia Today and Tomorrow, Leaving Your Legacy. So we're going to learn all about legacies today. We're going to learn about our impact and how we can leave our mark on history. And for those of you who have never been to the Guild Museum, I definitely encourage you to come visit us. We actually have a section in the museum called the Arcadia Walk of Fame, which has a lot of really famous people from Arcadia. And there are a lot. And even when you do come to the museum, you'll see a lot of the famous people. And that's not even all of them. It's a really small fraction of all of the famous people from here. So definitely come check it out. This program is going to be about an hour long. So if you need to go to the bathroom, if you need to grab a snack, I know it's early. Some of you maybe have not grabbed breakfast yet. If you need to do any of those things, you most definitely are allowed to do so, and you don't have to ask me for permission. But I'm very happy that you're here. So today we're going to get started with the program. You should have, or your parents should have picked up some kits from the Guild Museum. They're called the Arcadia Today and Tomorrow kits, and they have some really fun parts. And hopefully you catch your kits together, because we're going to be using them all today. And if you don't think that you've picked up your kit, you could definitely come to the museum, because we always make extras just in case this happens. And today we're going to be learning all about leaving our legacies. Legacies can mean something to different people. So a legacy is something that you pass on to others. Sometimes it's something physical, like a book or a painting, but sometimes it's just your the memory of who you are. There are some famous people like Van Halen, the band, or singer-songwriter Stevie Nicks. They've left behind like their songs and their lyrics that have been listened to by millions of people. And it's a huge misconception that you have to be like rich or like a big genius or even like really, really famous to touch lives or to leave your legacy. It could be anybody, you and me, normal people. They leave their legacies every day. One legacy that we're going to be learning about is books. So in your kits, you should have a little book. It's going to be a square with some colored paper. And then you're also going to need to look for something that says writing a book. It should be a page like this. And then I also encourage you to get a pencil or a pen. I'm going to be using a marker just so that everybody can see. And then Kimberly will be using a marker as well. So as I said before, one really cool legacy that has to do with Arcadia is that of authors. And there are many authors who have made a really big connection to Arcadia, such as Raymond Chandler, the author of The Big Sleep, Mitch Cullen, who wrote the book A Slight Trick of the Mind, Jay Asher, who wrote 13 Reasons Why, which became a Netflix show. And then Kimberly is also showing George Takei. He wrote this book called To the Stars. George Takei, he was in Arcadia for a while, and he was really famous for the show Star Trek, where he played Mr. Sulu. So lots of books, and we're gonna think about books that we could write today. So on your writing a book page, we're going to use this to brainstorm what our books could be about. And we're not going to be writing the books today. I think that would take a little bit of a while, and we're only going to be here for about an hour. So the big parts of books are things like characters, setting, the plot, how the plot gets resolved, which is also known as the resolution, and then just thinking about like scenes from your book. So let's think of some characters that we would like. I'm going to say my character's name is Agnes, and she's going to be a white rabbit. Because spoiler alert, I actually do have a white rabbit named Agnes. You probably need several characters just so that you have a really robust story. There are some books that have very few characters, but I think a lot of characters brings richness to the story. I'm also thinking of Harry Potter. So I'm going to have a weasel named Ron Weasley. I think I have Harry Potter on line because did you know that today is Harry Potter's birthday? July 31st, every single year. Yashika, your book can be about anything. It could be about anything you would like to write about. I saw your question in the Q&A. So I'm gonna have Ron Weasley, the weasel. I'm gonna have a character named Harry Otter, who is an otter named Harry. And I'm gonna have a mime named Hermione. A mime. So if you could see, I have my characters. I have Agnes, the white rabbit, Ron Weasley, the weasel, Harry Otter, an otter, Hermione, a mime. Miss Kimberly, what she has is Pablo the horse and Maria the sheep. I think those are some characters from our last week program. They're visiting us again. Next, when you're done thinking about who you want your characters to be, you can think about the setting. So where would you want your story to take place? It could be someplace that's right now. It could be someplace in the past. It could be in the future. And then you can also think geographically. You could have it in like Wyoming at Yellowstone National Park. You could have it happen in the middle of the ocean, like in the movie Moana. You could have it happen like on a mountain or a mystical world that is not here, like not even on Earth, kind of like in Raya and the Last Dragon. So, oh, Miss Kimberly, her story is going to take place on a farm on the moon. Nice. I think I want mine to take place in a national park. I don't know. I'm gonna have it take place in Redwood National Park. I think that's my favorite. That's my favorite national park. And for those who have not gone to Redwood National Park, I definitely encourage you to do so. It is also in California, but very far away from here. I'm gonna say mine is gonna happen in Redwood National Park in the 1880s. I want it to be like a little like Wild West-y, but also natural parkish. Yeah, so as you can see, I have filled out my character box and I have 4 characters and I have my setting. My setting is Redwood Park or Redwood National Park in the 1880s. So your characters can be whoever you want. The setting could be wherever you want. Next, we have to think about the plot. The plot is what is happening in this story. So for us to think about plots, you have to think about like, what do you want to happen to your character in your setting? So for example, mine could be Agnes the White Rabbit meets Harry Otter at Redwood National Park. And I think they ran out of birthday cake for Harry Otter's birthday. So that is the plot to my story. My story is I'm thinking Agnes the White Rabbit, Harry Otter, Ron Weasley, and Hermione. They're all trying to have a birthday for Harry Otter, but they ran out of birthday cake. Oh no. And it looks like Miss Kimberly's plot is Pablo and Maria become space travelers and get lost on Mars. So they went from the moon of Earth to Mars. Oh, okay. Does Mars have moons? I think so. Jupiter does have a lot of moons. I don't know if Mars has moons. I'm sorry to say I am not an astronomer. I never took an astronomy class. These are things that I could definitely study up on because it's always good to learn. Next, what you have to do is focus on the resolution. So the resolution is how the issues in your story get solved. So it could be like in Raya and the Last Dragon, they put all the pieces of the jewel together. It could be like in Zootopia and they uncover Mayor Bellwether. You know, I'm sorry if I'm spoiling the plot to any of these movies. I was watching Zootopia last night. It's one of my favorites. I really love that movie. So for my resolution to my plot, I'm going to say that Agnes the White Rabbit, she donates carrots and makes a carrot cake. For Harry Otter. I'm going to say in my story, Agnes is this really great rabbit who knows how to bake and she loves making carrot cakes. So even though Harry Otter, he ran out of his birthday cake, that's okay because when you run out of birthday cake, you can have carrot cake in my story. Oh, and Kimberly says that she loves carrot cake. And so the resolution to Miss Kimberly's story is that Pablo and Maria find a map and they use their spaceship to get back to the moon. Very nice, very nice. We're gonna have to definitely look up if Mars has a moon. I'll do that after this program. And I think that's a really great resolution. Sometimes the resolution can be like you find something or you find a really good solution. I think we both did those for our stories. Pablo and Maria, they found a map. Agnes, she found her carrots to make carrot cake. So your story can really be whatever you'd like. The great thing about stories is that they're all pretty unique. Everybody has their own different way of writing. They have their own ideas, and that's how some really excellent books get made. The last part is that you need to draw a picture from a scene in your book. I'm not the best artist, but I am going to try. Oh, I feel like I already did not do a good job. Nope, I'm just not drawing this very well, but that's okay. And I'm all of a sudden forgetting kind of how otters look. So I'm so sorry if my otter looks a little funny to everybody. And then Harry Otter definitely needs some glasses. So here's my picture of Agnes the White Rabbit. She's giving Harry Otter the carrot cake. Not my best drawing, I will admit. I feel like Miss Kimberly's just looks so beautiful. She's drawing Pablo and Maria. Is this on the moon? Okay, so she says that this is when they're getting ready for their space travel. Okay. My artistic abilities, not the sharpest. And as I said before, we're not going to completely write out our books. Books, they'll need things like dialogue. They'll need you to like expand on the story. They'll also probably need pictures. You're going to draw those in your book. You're going to write everything in your book. We're not going to do this right now, but make sure that when you write your book, you have your title on the front page. You're also probably going to need some nice pictures. And then you can write your book in here. And I would love to see your books. If you would like to bring your book to the Guild Museum during our open hours so I could read your book, I would love to, because I like reading all the time. I love reading a good book. And I would love to see what everybody came up with for their books. And so as we move on, we are going to take our book and our writing a book page, and we are going to put those to the side for now. You can always use that worksheet to help you develop your books later. But I am very excited to see what all of you come up with. And speaking of book, we are going to be talking about making some bookmarks. And our bookmarks are going to be very interesting. You should have a piece in your kit that looks like this. If anybody can guess what silhouette this is, I would love for you to guess. You can always put those guesses in the chat. Today we're going to be learning about David Tran. David Tran, he left his legacy by creating a very famous hot sauce. If anybody has ever had sriracha, David Tran, the inventor of sriracha, he actually lives in Arcadia. Yeah, he came to the US after living in Vietnam. And then he immigrated here in 1979 and created his company Hui Fong Foods in Los Angeles' Chinatown. And he uses chilies to make his sriracha sauce. And it's really good. He also thought that it wasn't going to be a really famous sauce. He thought it was only going to be sold in Asian food stores. But his sauce, sriracha, has become popular all over the world. Oh, Divya, thank you for your guess, glue. I do admit it kind of does look like a glue bottle because it's actually supposed to kind of look like the shape of a sriracha hot sauce bottle. And fun fact, some people call it rooster sauce because it has a rooster on it. But that's actually because David Tran was born in the year of the rooster on the Chinese zodiac. So there's a very fun fact for you. Yeah, Divya, it's sauce. Yeah, it's a really good sauce. I love eating it. I love eating pho, and it's really good in pho. Oh, it's so yummy. I know it's kind of making me hungry to think about it right now. Kimberly says that she's hungry too. And today we're going to create or invent our own sauces. So you should have your bottle and you should have your box of crayons in your kit. And let's try to design our own. And me and Kimberly will be doing it as well. We have some examples that our volunteers designed. So our volunteers, oh, somebody created cool juice. I don't really know what that would taste like. And then Wild West sauce. That one sounds really cool. That sounds like a spicy barbecue sauce. Okay, so let's take our crayons. Let's try to think of a really good sauce. You can make it look kind of like sriracha. I think I'm going to give mine a green. I'm going to give mine a green top, like sriracha. And the cool thing is that after you were done, you could use these as bookmarks, which is perfect because we just talked about making books. And I'm very interested to see what Miss Kimberly comes up with. Sometimes we have disagreements on food preferences. For example, Miss Kimberly really loves kettle corn, and I don't really like kettle corn. I think that popcorn, it should be buttery. It's my personal belief. Okay, and I see Miss Kimberly, she's taking a different approach. Her bottle cap is blue. I'm using a little bit of yellow on mine. I think I'm going to have mine be called sunshine sauce. And let me think. If I was going to invent this sauce, I would say it tastes a little bit citrusy, the citrusy sauce. Actually, that sounds really good. I should really invent that sauce for real. Maybe I just went into the wrong industry, you know, like museums or sauce making. I really could have done either. Fun fact though, sriracha, as we're making all of our sauce bottles, sriracha is actually made in the city of Irwindale, which is not too far. You can get there by the 210 freeway. So it's only a hop, skip, and a jump from here. I would love to take the sriracha factory tour because Such a great sauce. It goes on nearly everything. What? Miss Kimberly Miss Kimberly said that she likes to eat sriracha with her French fries. Interesting. I like putting it on noodles. Yeah, I think it goes perfectly on noodles. I'm telling you, me and Miss Kimberly, we have our own opinions about food, but that's okay. Okay, I'm almost done with my sunshine sauce. Oh, Miss Kimberly. Miss Kimberly's sauce has a pineapple on it with glasses. Onion. An onion? I'm so sorry, it's an onion. It's a really good looking onion. Oh, it's cool onion sauce. Okay. I also love onions. Onions are good. So that's Miss Kimberly's. Mine is my sunshine sauce. I'm gonna say it's very like citrusy, a little acidic. I like putting a lot of like lime juice in my soups. I feel like it just gives it like a really good flavor. So my invention is going to be like, instead of squirting like your lime or your lemon into your soup, you can put this sauce. And when you are finished making your hot sauce bookmarks, definitely show me what your hot sauce looks like, or your sauce. It doesn't have to be hot. I'll put my email. I'll put my email in the chat so that everybody can see it. And you could see that Miss Kimberly, she has her cool onion sauce. That does look like a really cool, like super rad onion. I love it. I love it. Very, very nice, Miss Kimberly. I'm sorry I called it a pineapple. Now that we have finished our bookmarks, oh, Erin made a rainbow sauce that tastes like ice cream.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds good. I would take rainbow sauce and I would actually put it on ice cream. I feel like that sounds really good. Or using it in milkshakes. Because I feel like a lot of the times milkshakes are too thick. And so you could use rainbow sauce instead. That's perfect. Excellent invention, Erin. If you ever do make this sauce a reality, I'd love to try it. If anybody else wants to tell me about their sauces, please feel free to put that in the chat. But now we're going to put our sauces to the side, and remember, you can use them as bookmarks. So here I have my book, and you can use your bookmark to save your space. And now we are going to talk about different legacies. So we've kind of heard about Michael Anthony, Stevie Nicks. Earlier I mentioned Mirai Nagasu, who was in the Olympics a few years ago. We learned about David Tran, who created the sriracha sauce. But let's think of like other legacies. So here, if you come to the Guild Museum, you'll see that we have the Arcadia Walk of Fame. The Arcadia Walk of Fame features a lot of famous people who are from Arcadia or live here, have lived here, went to school here. So basically anybody who had some sort of relationship to Arcadia, for even if it was just for a little bit. But two people that I think are super cool are Dr. Tracy Caldwell Dyson and Stephen Lindsay. And they are actually astronauts. So Ms. Kimberly is showing off some astronauts, and in the front row, we have Stephen Lindsay, who is an astronaut. And I think that that's super cool. He's actually like gone out into space, which is something that I definitely cannot say for myself. I think I would be quite afraid to go into space personally. So I don't think I have the emotional strength to do it. But I think the legacy of astronauts is really cool. Stephen Lindsay, he was born in Arcadia. And he is here to like inspire us to literally like reach for the stars, go out into the world in honor of our astronauts. I'm wearing my moon earrings today, and you can't see it, but Miss Kimberly is wearing she's wearing her spaceship earring, or her astronaut earring. I'm so sorry. It's like the onion thing all over again, onion pineapple thing. Also in the Gill Museum, we have some really cool stickers from different space missions. So these are really cool. We don't have these on display in the museum. So this is kind of one of the few places where we actually are able to show these off to people. So that's really cool. I'm glad that you could all see these really cool artifacts. And I really like talking about astronauts. I know that I didn't study astronomy, but I just think that it's really cool. You know, they've gone up in spaceships, you know, to places that I've never been and probably will never be. I do like heights, but not that high, you know. And let's think about the legacy of astronauts with a little astronaut related craft. So in your kit, you should have a toilet paper roll, and it should be white. And you will also need from your kit some pieces of tissue paper. That should be a few different colors. There's Miss Kimberly's. Hers, for some reason, are really long, but mine are very short, but that's okay. And then you'll also have a bag in your kit with some construction paper and some foam stickers. I don't know if you know about me, but I love a good foam sticker. I think that they're super fun. And then lastly, what you're gonna need is your glue stick. First thing that we're gonna do is you're going to take the ends of your tissue paper and you're gonna take maybe about an inch from the tops and you're going to glue these parts, just the top inch. You don't have to glue the entirety of your tissue paper, just a little bit. A little bit with tissue paper goes a really long way. And Miss Kimberly is beautifully demonstrating how to do everything on the other screen. And then when you have glued your tissue paper, you're going to take your toilet paper roll and you're going to press glue side down to the inside of your toilet paper roll. And you might have noticed that the colors that we gave you are kind of like orangey, reddish, and yellow because this is actually like the fire from rocket ships, you know, like when they blast off. Now you're going to have you should be able to find 2 circles in your kit. They're very small, so if you lost them, it's a little understandable. You could also draw these onto your spaceship, but these are going to be the little porthole windows that are on your spaceship. And so those are going to go right here, kind of like on the body of your spaceship. Oops, I totally got glue everywhere. But as you can see, so we have our tissue paper right here, and then we have our 2 windows. Our Miss Kimberly is still gluing hers. And then next, We're going to take our 2 squares. And if I'm going too quickly, please let me know in the chat. I do not mind at all slowing down. But you're going to take your 2 squares and you're going to fold part of the bottom in just a little bit. So this is how mine looks. We can fold it in half, like Miss Kimberly, anything that you want. This one's already folded. Oh, it's already folded. And then you're going to glue your little folded portions. And these are going to be kind of like the wings of the rocket ship. And so as you can see, I have glue on mine, and then I have my spaceship, and I'm just going to press like this. I might not have folded enough because the wings of your spaceship should be a little triangle-ish. So here's one wing, and then I need to still do the other one. I'm gonna take a quick sip of coffee. All right, and then there you have it. You have most of your rocket ship done. Now you should have some foam shapes. Mine are all stars by chance. And you're just going to peel the backs off, and then it has some stickiness, kind of like a sticker, so you could stick them to your rocket ship wherever you see fit. Looks like Miss Kimberly, hers are all hearts because it's all about the love. So Miss Kimberly, would you ever go up in a spaceship? So she said probably not. Would you? I don't think I would. I think that it's really far up there. It's so scary. Would any of you like to go up in spaceships? You should let me know in the chat. Don't be afraid of going into space just because me and Miss Kimberly are little fraidy cats. Okay, here is my spaceship. It's full of stars. Oh, Aaron said he would be an astronaut. He would go up in space. Nice. So the last part is a little tricky. You'll have this circle, and you can see that it'll already be cut, kind of like a Pac-Man character. For this, what you need to do is you need to fold it together a little bit so that you have kind of like a cone. And you're going to need to glue this to the top of your rocket ship. However, me and Miss Kimberly, we determined that you will need liquid glue, which we unfortunately did not provide, but you can definitely do this on your own. And when you're finished, you could definitely let us know. And here's my spaceship blasting off. Divya also says she's going to be an astronaut. Very cool. I know that there's space camps you could go to. So that'd be pretty cool. Alrighty, Erin, Divya, I'm really excited to see you go off into space. Please be sure to send me a postcard. I would love to see or hear all about space. Yeah. Maybe you could send me something from the International Space Station. And let's remember that if we have any little white parts from the stickers, that we are throwing these away. We want to make sure that we are being very clean. We're not making our areas very dirty. And if you have extras, you could also put them to the side as well. Everything should have come in a little sandwich baggie. So if you want to just put your trash in there, you most definitely can, so that you can keep your entire area really clean. Now we're going to do another part of, or another activity relating to space. So I was really interested. I was having this excellent conversation with Miss Kimberly. Did you know that scientists wanted to know how plants could grow without gravity? So NASA created the Vegetable Production System, the VPS, to help them learn about what it was like to grow vegetables in space, which I think is really interesting. I didn't know that they grew vegetables in space. I think that's pretty cool. So in honor of that, we're going to grow our own vegetables today. In your kit, you should have a little pot. This is a biodegradable pot, which means that over time, it'll actually break down. You should also have a bag of soil. And you should have some seeds. Now, these seeds are corn, because corn, I think, is a great veggie. And when I was planning this activity, I knew that this would be taking place in very late July, and corn, sweet corn like this, is a vegetable that is perfect if it is planted around this time. So I wanted to make sure that we didn't give you anything that wouldn't grow right now, because I don't think that that would be super fun. I'm also going to be using a plastic spoon to help us plant our veggies. Miss Kimberly asked me to take a little bit of a pause. She dropped her corn, which is okay because it's still good. There's no 5-second rule here. So we're going to open our soil bags. I have this plastic spoon. If you have a plastic spoon, I definitely encourage you to use it, or a metal spoon if you're okay with cleaning up later. And you're just going to spoon your soil into your pot. And we need to fill this up about halfway with soil. So I have 2 spoonfuls so far. 3. Okay, so I think four spoonfuls will do it. And then when you've filled up your pot about halfway, you're going to take your corn, sweet corn, and you're just going to plant them in your pot. You want to nestle them in very nicely. And then you're going to cover it with some soil. So I did 1 spoonful, 2 spoonfuls. Yeah, I think 4 spoonfuls on the bottom, 2 on the top seems to be perfect for me and Miss Kimberly. So as you can see, my pot has all of the corn in it. And we're going to pretend like we are in space and we are trying to grow vegetables on a rocket ship. Make sure that you water these. You don't want to have too much water. If you could stick about 1 inch of your finger, which is kind of like 1 segment, into the soil, and if it feels dry, you should water it. If it's really, really moist and wet, you probably don't have to water it. That might be overwatering it, which is also not good for plants. You will probably have some extra soil in your bag. You can throw it away. You can keep it if you want to plant something else. You definitely don't have to give it back to us. We have a lot of soil here. So if you want to make sure you're closing this so that it doesn't get everywhere, and then you're just going to put this to the side. I'm very excited to be growing my my corn. Kimberly was actually telling me that when they did the vegetable production system, they grew things like zucchinis and lettuce and sunflowers. So if you want to grow those as well, I definitely encourage you to. I think that that would be great. And I always love growing my own fruits and vegetables. I think that somehow it makes them taste a lot better when you grow them yourself. So we're going to also make sure that we put our sweet corn somewhere where it will get a lot of sun. So if you have a place to put it outside, that would be great. If you don't, like maybe you live in an apartment, I live in an apartment, you could put it maybe next to a kitchen window or a window where you know it will get a lot of sun. So I'm very excited. I also have several pots growing on my windowsill. So I'm going to say that this one's sweet corn so I don't get confused. And of course, corn grows very tall, so you might want to pot it later, so put it in a different, bigger pot. I think that corn grows to be, I want to say 6 feet tall. So tall, taller than me. I'm not 6 feet. So I put my sweet corn to the side so that it won't get very, very dirty. And I'll give everybody about a minute. So if you want to put it away right now, you definitely can. If you're going to put it on a windowsill, I definitely encourage you to put something under it because the very bottom of your pot has a hole in it. And if you water it, it'll probably leak out a little bit of wet soil, which is never fun because that means you'd have to clean it up later. I have a lot of lids to ice cream in my house. That just shows how much ice cream I eat. Lastly, what everybody should be grabbing is a writing implement and this page that says Walk of Fame. So you might remember I mentioned that the Guild Museum has an Arcadia Walk of Fame. And in the Arcadia Walk of Fame, we have the photos and information from a lot of very famous people who are from Arcadia, lived here for a little bit, or went to school here. Some famous people that we have are like Stevie Nicks, Michael Anthony from Van Halen. We also have Miranda Gossu. We have Tracy Caldwell Dyson and Stephen Lindsay. We have Joe Gans, he was a boxer. We have a lot of athletes like Angel Yin, who was in golf. And we have chefs. We have radio disc jockeys. We have illustrators. We have a lot of people. But I would like to encourage you to think about if you were famous, what would you want to be known for? And what would you want your panel on the Arcadia Walk of Fame to look like? Now, earlier in this program, I did have a poll that asked if you became famous, what would you want to be known for? And some people said that they wanted to be known for competing in the Olympics or being an actress. There were a lot of different answers. So let's think back to that and let's create our own panels for the Arcadia Walk of Fame. So first, we're gonna draw ourselves. And again, I am not the best artist, but I try, and that is the most important part. For example, I would want to have me, and I of course wear glasses, so I would have my glasses in my picture. And maybe I'll even put like my moon earrings that I'm wearing today. And like my hair. Not my best work. That's okay. I think Miss Kimberly, she does quite better than me. And make sure that If you are thinking about what you'd like to be famous for, you could tell us what you would be famous for in the chat. I think I want to be famous for, oops, having great programs at the museum, which I know is not an option that I included in the poll. I just found it to be a little too specific. And as Miss Kimberly is demonstrating, make sure that you are writing your name, because how are we going to know who you are in the Arcadia Walk of Fame if we don't have your name? So here's the drawing of myself. I tried my best. I feel like using the blue for my hair and also for my earrings is not a very smart move of me. And I said, such great education programs. I wrote my name. And next, you need to write a description of what you did to become famous. So this is something that we have on our panels in the museum. So for some, it's that they went to school and they studied to become astronauts, or they practiced really hard to become great athletes. There's a lot of great stories out there. So let's try to write about how we became famous. So I'm going to say Miss Brittany was hired at the Guild Museum of Arcadia and had such great education programs that everyone wanted to attend. So Miss Kimberly says, Kimberly went to school and became an intern at the Guild Museum and learned a lot. Miss Kimberly. So this is what your Walk of Fame posters should look like when they're finished. Remember, your story of how you became famous can be about whatever you want. And when you are finished, let's make sure to put these to the side. If you have any trash, like crayon boxes or whatnot, let's make sure to throw those away. Oof, my blue crayon is stuck. And that actually concludes the Arcadia Today and Tomorrow Leaving Your Legacy program. We actually took almost a complete hour. So I think it was really good. It was a really good program. I just wanted to remind everybody that starting next week, we're going to be having the Music Makers and Shakers kit, where you're going to be able to make some fun crafts like tambourines and kazoos. The kazoo one is my favorite. So definitely make sure to sign up for that kit. If you need the link to it, you could definitely ask me. It's also on our website and our social media, so it's not very hard to find. And I really hope you sign up for that kit. It's one of my favorite ones. I love that kazoo. I was playing it the other day in the museum. And I only got a few eye rolls from it. Aaron drew himself as a famous golfer. Wow. Nice, nice. I think we need more pro golfers. I think I could only name maybe like 3. Yeah. So. Only one. Oh. Oh, well, I also said Angel Yin today. Yeah, because Miss Kimberly said that the only one that she knows is Tiger Woods. But I also mentioned Angel Yin, so now she knows 2 famous golfers. Oh, but with Aaron, that's 3. So now you know 3 golfers. Good, nice. And with that, you are all free to go. Thank you so much for joining us. This is actually the last summer enrichment program of this year. I know it flew by so quickly, but as for summer enrichment, I guess we're not going to have the next one until 2022. Hopefully it is in person. I would love for it to be in person so we could all be together and work together. But aside from that, have a good summer. For those of you who are starting school soon, good luck starting school. And please make sure to send me your photos. I love photos. Thank you. Thank you, Divya. Thank you, Erin.